Hear that? Yeah, that's the sound of you relaxing, because now you're managing diabetes with the Freestyle Libre 3 system. You get to know your glucose levels and where it's headed. Manage your diabetes with more confidence with the Freestyle Libre 3 system. Ready to learn more about the #1 prescribed CGM in the U.S.? Visit freestylelibre.us to learn more. Based on retail sales data for patients' last filled prescription by manufacturer. Refer to the FLAIR NL4 study published in BMJ Open Diabetes Research and Care 2019. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Welcome to Bytes of Health, where we hope to take a bite out of your parent worries each day with sound advice and guidance. Every morning, we'll answer a commonly asked pediatric question in 5 minutes or less. I'm Dr. Jess Steyer, a public health scientist and mama of 2 kids. And today we are going to talk about processed foods. Should we worry about every ingredient? The clock is ticking, so let's get to it. First of all, let's just set the stage by saying that any food that you will purchase in a grocery store is processed to some degree. And not all processed foods are inherently bad. Processed simply means that a food has been altered from its original form, which can range from simple freezing to adding preservatives. And some processed foods, like fortified cereals or canned beans, can absolutely be nutritious. So it's important to distinguish between minimally processed foods and ultra-processed ones that may be high in excess sugars or unhealthy fats. But even consuming these ultra-processed foods is not inherently bad for you if consumed in moderation as part of a larger, balanced diet. So should we obsess over every ingredient in processed foods? Social media does a very good job of amplifying fear about certain ingredients, but it's essential to maintain perspective. A single ingredient in isolation is highly unlikely to harm you or your kids. What matters most is the overall dietary pattern. So focusing on nutrient-rich foods most of the time is far more beneficial than stressing over occasional consumption of processed items. Or I should say ultra-processed items. So what should parents prioritize in their family's diet? So you do not need to obsess or worry about eliminating all processed foods. Frankly, that's going to be impossible. So instead, you just want to prioritize whole foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. A balanced diet with a variety of nutrients, that's the key for long-term health. And occasional convenience foods or processed snacks are absolutely okay as part of an overall healthy diet. So how do we combat misinformation about processed foods? Misinformation thrives on fear. It's important to rely on evidence-based nutrition advice from reputable sources like dietitians, public health organizations, and peer-reviewed studies. Overly restrictive diets can cause unnecessary stress and anxiety, which is counterproductive to fostering a positive relationship with food. So what is the key message for parents? Don't let social media drive you to extremes. Focus on a balanced diet and an overall healthy lifestyle rather than obsessing over every single food label. Again, remember, it's the pattern of your diet over time that matters most. All right, well, I hope you learned something today, and we have lots more to share. You can get your Bite of Health every day, Monday through Friday. If you like what you've heard here, let us know. Please leave us a review on Apple and be sure to tell your friends. Remember, there is no single or best way to parent. Parenting is a journey, and we are all just doing our very best. We wish you happy, healthy, and stress-free parenting.
If you like this podcast, can we recommend another one? It's called Big Picture Science. You can hear it wherever you get your podcasts, and its name tells part of the story. The big picture questions and the most interesting research in science.
Seth and I are the hosts. Seth is a scientist. I am Molly, and I'm a science journalist. And we talk to people smarter than us, and we have fun along the way. The show is called Big Picture Science, and as Seth said, you can hear it wherever you get your podcasts.